What up, my people, and welcome back to another episode of NFC Beast. This is the only show that breaks down everything that's going down in the NFC East for all of our respective fan bases. Joining me today, three other esteemed and established journalists in the world. First and foremost, my main man, Lou Albanese, looking as sexy as always, Lou, as a beautiful color red that you got on right there, my brother.
My Christmas red.
That's what I'm talking about. In Dallas, returning Ethan in the building. E, we missed you, bro.
You know, it's good to be back. I think I needed a little bit of a break from you guys for a sec, but I think I'm good now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ethan, one person that cannot wait to talk to you is our defending champion, Breland Moore, representing the Birds in the building. We're going to have a long day as we hear a lot from Breland Moore. A lot to talk about today. We've got Dallas losing, we've got New York losing, and we've got Philadelphia winning. But we're going to start with conversation here in the nation's capital. At the beginning of the week, it was announced that Jayden Daniels was going to be out of this week's game with the Philadelphia Eagles as he had not yet been medically cleared. But beyond that, the team has decided to shut down JD5 for the rest of the season, meaning that he will also miss the last two games. So, Breland Moore, I'm coming to you first because I know every time the Philadelphia Eagles play the Washington Commanders, I know how fearful you get. I know how scared you get. I know you can hardly sleep at night. So how does this make you feel? Should the organization have shut down Jayden Daniels?
I think at this point, yeah, right? Because you're trying to protect your future investment. And I mean, that poor young man has had the worst go of it this season in terms of injuries. And when there's nothing left to play for and you've been eliminated from the postseason already, when you approach these final three games, there's really no reason to continue to throw him out there. I do understand there might be an argument of, well, you know, he's a team leader and you want him to continue to grow through adversity with his team, but the risk is just way outweighing the reward at this point. I think he'll be just fine if he takes care of himself. But yeah, it's just not worth throwing out your guy like that to the Wolves. I feel a little bad for him, actually.
Lou, you know a lot about young quarterbacks who can't seem to stay on the field. What do you think? Should the Commanders be shutting down JD5?
Yes, they should have shut him down a couple of weeks ago. There's no reason why this guy should play. We call him a leader. What's he leading? A losing team right now? No. Settle him down, get him healthy, rebuild the defense. That's it. You have to get this kid healthy or you can't win.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am shocked. I am appalled. I am upset. All of the above. Because when I looked at this situation, I say with Jayden Daniels, a young quarterback, second year, yes, he almost shocked the world last year, but he's a young quarterback who needs those reps, needs that time on task. Beyond that, no one can help this team evaluate the other players on the team, like a Deebo Samuel, like a Noah Brown, had he not been out for injury as well as Jayden Daniels. He needs the time. The team needs the time. But then Marcus Mariota played relatively well against the Giants last week, and I too think that Jayden Daniels should take the rest of the season. Also, I happen to agree with you all. Ethan, what do you say?
You know, I didn't know I was going to be the only one with this take, but no, I think he should play. I mean, it's a smart move. Yes, the smart move is to sit him, make sure he gets his rest, gets healthy. But I want to see guys play for the love of the game sometimes. And like you said, Chad, you got to, evaluate Jayden Daniels in real time against two really good opponents coming up over the next 3 weeks for Washington. So, no, I think he should go out there. I mean, I don't know if it's the wrong move, but me personally as a fan, I want to see my guys out there.
Ethan Herrera, I always knew that I liked you. You, sir, are welcome on this show whenever you would like to. So with that, we'll go ahead and pivot to your Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys lost last week to the Vikings by a final score of 34-26. Barring a miracle, that is going to all but do it for this team. They will miss the playoffs. So the question that if they're not asking this in your parts, they're asking it around the rest of the country. Has this season been a failure in Big D?
I mean, it's hard not to say yes because, I mean, the expectations at the beginning of the season were so high. They got Pickens. I mean, their offensive line was supposed to be so healthy. I know the whole Micah trade and everything kind of put some dampen in what this team could do, but they have the talent. They've always had the talent. So yeah, I would pick this as a failure in terms of expectations at the beginning of the season. It's been tough. But a lot of it is on the field, and it's football stuff on the field that they just can't figure it out.
Lou, I think that what's interesting is that some of E's counterparts have told us all season long that this was a 500 team and they were never meant to be anything more than a 500 team, and for any of us that thought otherwise, that we were the wrong ones. So what do you say, you?
Failure. Of course it's a failure. I mean, whether you want to be a 500 team, okay, that's great. That's to be a failure anyhow. This team started downhill from the minute the Micah Parsons things took place. Then they had a little bit of a run. They had those trades, gave them a little bit of life. But the last couple of weeks you saw, that was just a mirage. And Jerry's world is going to shut the tents down by the new year, and he's going to have to figure out what he's going to do to build it up. Now they have to worry about whether or not they sign Pickens or not. That's just a problem.
I, too, believe that this was a failure on behalf of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to hear anything from the Cowboys faithful who say that this team was flawed, that they didn't have a defense, that they didn't do this or the other. You got an offense that is arguably the best offense in all of the NFL. You got a quarterback that makes about $60 to $80 million. You got wide receivers who is arguably the best tandem in all of the league, and you don't even make it to the playoffs, may not finish over 500. It's a failure. Breland.
I feel like I need the little Grinch smile going on right now.
Oh, no.
So no offense to you, Ethan, but I'm still looking for Jeff Kolb, who told me that Dallas is now the hottest team in the NFC East and the team to beat. And you notice he has not been on this show since he stood on that business. So, Jeff, I'm going to need you to come on back here at some point and talk to me about that.
He's hiding, I think. I think he's hiding from you.
Yeah, we knew going in what this team was going to be. I think, it was unrealistic to drink that Kool-Aid in the first place and think that they were going to be any better than 500. We knew that going in. That being said, I do think it's a failure because when you have a quarterback playing and being mentioned in the MVP conversation and having that caliber of a season and you waste it, yeah, it absolutely is a failure, but Dallas should be used to failures at this point. It's just old hat.
All right, I'm looking through my phone. I know that I have Jeff's email address. I don't have his telephone number. Ethan, maybe you can text me Jeff's number. We'll make sure that Jeff gets back on this show relatively soon. All right, Breland, here's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, I'll make sure he gets the message.
Your Eagles, 31-0 victory over the Raiders. Big whoop-de-woo. Does this mean that the Birds are flying high again? Have they solved all of their issues?
No, I think consistency is key in this league. That being said, I was really excited to see what they were able to piece together. I thought they moved the ball really well against the Chargers. They just, there were certain things they didn't execute, and players have to catch balls and things like that. We talked about that, last week. But this was a much cleaner game. I was excited. They still need to obviously shore up some of that penalty issues, and there are still some little things that I think that they need to improve on. But the most important thing is it was really, really great for morale. Beat it up on a bad team, shut them out after 3 straight losses, and now they can build on that from there. And I think the players are very aware of what's going on. Cooper DeJean said, we didn't want to be playing our best football in September, October, November. Now is when you play your best football. And we know that we've still got a lot of work to do, and that's okay heading into these final 3 weeks of the season. So I think the locker room in general is in a really great place, and they will be just fine. But they have to take care of business, of course, down in Washington this week, which I think they'll do, Chad.
We'll get to that, Breland. But, Ethan, to Breland's point here, sometimes you need a punching bag. You're feeling frustrated, you're having a bad day, you need a punching bag to go beat up on, and after you do, everything is all better again.
Well, they needed that to, like you said, the punching bag, get all of that energy out, but it's still a Raiders. It's still Vegas. Actually, the thing is, they're not going to be able to get a really good gauge of where they're at right now over these next, 3 weeks? Because last 4 games of the season, Vegas, Commanders, Dallas, Commanders. They're not going to find any real test till their first playoff game, and I think if they don't stay focused, that's a rude awakening coming if they're not. That's just my opinion.
To that point, though, Ethan, this is a team with all of their struggles, all of their hardships. If this goes the way that I'm sure that Breland and the other Birds are hoping that it does, they could be riding this 4-game win streak coming into town. This offense that has been struggling all throughout the year. You've got the Commanders twice, and no offense to my boys right here in the nation's capital, but that burgundy and gold defense has not looked absolutely stellar for the greater part of the season. You got Dallas, who is marketably worse than just about anybody else. That offense, this team could be flying high by the time they make it to the playoffs, Lou.
Listen, there's nothing worse than beating up on the Raiders, the Jets, the Giants, thinking you're coming back, the Commanders and the Cowboys, heading into the playoffs and thinking all my problems are solved. And then the first time they play someone decent, they get smoked. So these are nice wins. You put them on the shelf. Tell Cooper, oh, yeah, we're playing our best ball now. It's funny how he has said that, didn't say that the last 3 weeks when they were losing, okay? So let's get carried away. Don't get carried away with these wins. Sometimes you're better off not beating up on these teams so bad so you don't get overconfident come playoff time.
All right, so Breland, I'm going to do this, and it really pains my heart to do this. It hurts my feelings right now to do this, but not only am I coming on your side, but I'm going to lead into an argument for you to just take it and go from there with it. I would agree with Lou. I would agree with Ethan if we weren't talking about your Philadelphia Eagles right now. If we weren't talking about a team that has already proven that they can win, that they can turn it on late, and they can ride that all the way throughout the postseason and, God forbid, even win a Super Bowl. But the fact that this team has proven that they can do just that, I think that if they get hot now, regardless of who they're playing, I think that you all can ride this all the way.
I agree with you, Chad, and I was gonna interject here in a little bit. They have already played Dallas twice. That second game there is Buffalo in Buffalo. That should be an incredible test for this team, and I think if they can walk out of Orchard Park with a win, absolutely they should be taken for real. That's going to be a really, really great test for them. And I think that they're more than capable of doing that. So I think that is kind of the indication. I need to see consistency. I need them to beat up on a bad Washington team. But if they can win in Buffalo at the end of December, I'm back. I'm all in.
Commanders are not a bad team. They are a team that has been struck with misfortune all throughout the season, but is playing really, really, really hard out there. All right, Lou, we're going to come to you. Talking about Jackson Dart right now, had a bit of an up and down performance in this last week. What really hurt my feelings about this game was him throwing into the wind and how sometimes his passes ended up some 5, 10, 12 yards behind his receiver. So we've seen good out of Jackson Dart running over people. We've seen not so great out of Jackson Dart. On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you ranking your rookie quarterback?
I'll go 5. I mean, I think 5 is the right number. And I think the problem is some of those passes, their receivers are horrible. That Jaylen Hyatt is one of the worst draft picks in the history of the NFL. And earlier this year, a couple of days ago, Brian Baldinger, who was a really good NFL analyst, ripped him to shreds about how he runs routes. Because he ran a horrible route again is what led to one of Dart's pickoffs, because the kid doesn't know how to run a route, which is why Dable never played him. A couple of weeks ago, a chance to win a game, he stops running in the end zone, and Jameis Winston's ball gets picked off. Yeah. Now, Jameis Winston loves his interceptions, so he wasn't going to rip the kid. He says, I hadn't thrown one yet, so I felt I was due. But the truth of the matter is, it was Hyatt's fault. When you have guys like Hyatt still playing, that tells me, get this general manager the hell out of here, because stop playing the garbage just because you picked them.
All right, so Lou says Jackson Dart's a 5, but we ain't talking about Jackson Dart. Lou wants to talk about Joe Shane. E, where do you rank Jackson Dart? And if you want to throw in Joe Shane, go ahead.
Jackson Dart, I'm all about Jackson Dart. I like his attitude. I like his let me go after. Like I said earlier about Jayden Daniels sitting, he's got love for the game. I know we're worried about his injury-prone, the style of play, but I put him at an 8. I put him at an 8 because I think he's got the tools. And if he's got Scadaboo right there, banging heads with everybody else, I think that gives him a little extra energy.
So Lou says 5, Ethan says 8. Breland, that's a lot of range there. Does Jackson Dart have what it takes to be that dude?
I'm going to go with a 4 on that because he's a rookie quarterback on a 2-win team. Like, can we pump the brakes a little bit? We saw a little bit of a slide off for Jayden Daniels in year 2, and I'm not necessarily blaming Jayden Daniels on that. There's injuries, but there's a lot that goes into a second NFL season. This is an unproven guy, in my opinion, and I like the fact that he brings a little spark, brings a little energy. I thought, with Scadaboo, he was cooking a little bit, but he's a 2-win quarterback in his rookie season. I think we just got to take a little bit of a breath.
Quarterback.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever, but I like him.
Young man doesn't.
That's fine.
He certainly has moxie. He certainly has bravado. He's got movie star looks out there as well. He has not. To Breland, to your point, to Lou's point, he has not looked like the same quarterback since Cam Scadaboo went down, and that kind of eliminated the RPO action that it was that he was running. We'll see how he looks when Malik Neighbors comes back. Hopefully that offense can add more weapons to it as well, and we'll see who Jackson Dart is. Okay, coming up, we are going to talk about the holidays, specifically Christmas football, and what memories we have and what gifts we would like to give to our fan base. It's next on The Beast. Welcome back to NFC B-East, and this, of course, is the holiday seasons. A lot of Christmas football going to be going down, and at this point in time of the year, some of the most memorable moments of our lives surrounded around this game, played with a pigskin. So, Breland Moore, what is your favorite Christmas holiday memory as it pertains to football?
I think I'm going to go with that game in 2023. Now, granted, the Eagles were in the middle of a collapse, but that was my first ever football Christmas Day game in the NFL between the Eagles and the Giants back in 2023. The Eagles did win that game, so it wasn't as bad, but like I said, in the midst of a collapse, but it didn't matter. It was such a cool experience to be on the field. It was snowing a little bit, and just Christmas Day spent with, 53 plus the coaching staff of my favorite gentleman, and it was just a really neat atmosphere that I feel like everyone should probably experience once. If you haven't, it's such a cool thing to spend Christmas that way.
I think that that's a great point, and that is how I will be spending my Christmas this year as the Commanders play host to those god-awful Dallas Cowboys at Northwest Stadium. I will be there in the stadium, hopefully with the packed stadium. Hopefully they already bought their tickets. I'm going to say that right now I'm looking forward to that. My favorite Christmas football memories of right now, though, are actually just playing backyard football with my family, my cousins, and sharing that love and that community spirit. It may change after I see Commanders versus Cowboys, though. Ethan.
Backyard football was at the top of my list. Love that. Love just, me and my cousins just beating the absolute crap out of each other in the backyard. But mine is a game. It was Packers-Bears. Out in 2011. Love that game. Aaron Rodgers threw 5 touchdown passes. I grew up a Packers fan. I still like the green and gold over there, but Yeah, Packers beating the Bears 35-21. Rodgers threw 5, 2 to Jordy Nelson, 2 to James Jones, and 1 to my favorite tight end of all time, Jermichael Finley.
That was a beautiful memory, Ethan. Unfortunately, that's going to get clipped and shared by Dallas Cowboy fans everywhere. That Ethan is in fact a Green Bay Packers fan. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, it's known. It's known. I like the Pack over here. They know it.
All right. I hope that you get transferred to a new market sometime very soon. Lou, what do you got?
You'll see me in Milwaukee.
Well, being the old man on the panel, I actually go back a far time ago. You got to remember, for so many years, football was not allowed to be played on Christmas Day. They stopped playing on Christmas Day for years. Because you go back to 71, I think it was 71. Don't hold me to these numbers. But that famous cheap Dolphin double overtime, because back then, believe it or not, the playoffs started around this time. I know it's shocking to hear that actually the playoffs in December, and then after that game, and everybody complained because their dinners were ruined, and everyone said the NFL killed Christmas. The lousy Grinch NFL killed Christmas. They stopped playing for like decades. The lousy NFL. The Grinch who stole Christmas. The NFL. He ruined my Christmas. So after that, that was it. Goodbye, Christmas. Goodbye, football. The hell with Christmas. Bah humbug.
I just want to say this right now. Lou, you're invited to my house for Christmas. If you got nowhere else to go, you can come to our family dinner. That was absolutely amazing. All right. We want to give some Christmas presents to our fan bases. Breland, what are you giving the Birds fans?
A Xanax. I'm so serious. I think a lot of people forget, the sky is falling here. We want to bench Jalen Hurts, and we want Tanner McKee time. And there's so many different highs and lows and extremes going on in this city right now. And I just need everyone to just relax. They're 9-5. They're gonna win the division. And it's the first time we get a repeat champion in this division in 21 years. It will be fine. And so I just need everyone to just relax any way that they possibly can. Maybe I'll give them a spa day. Whatever works for them. They just got to chill.
I'm actually going right off of that, Breland, and I am gifting fans here of the DMV, the Burgundy and Gold faithful, an ounce of patience in these holiday seasons because as I hear from some people saying, we should have never drafted Jayden Daniels. He's not that guy. Should have been Drake May.
What?
We need to get rid of Dan Quinn. He's got to go. Adam Peters should have never been the general manager. Guys, these are the same people that you absolutely loved and adored just some 6 to 7 months ago. They took you to the NFC Championship, a place that you hadn't been in decades. Some of you, all of your lifetime. Just please understand this is the NFL. Have some patience. Have some love for the Washington Commanders. Ethan.
I'm going to give them a healthy year. I mean, that would be the perfect gift for Dallas Cowboys fans to see their team fully healthy, whether they're, end up being a 12-win team or a 6-win team. I'd like to see a full healthy season if I was a Cowboys fan. And then also, I like to give a 2-part gift. My niece is getting 2 gifts, so I'm going to give the Cowboys fans 2 gifts. A first-round pick that hits. That would be ideal for these Cowboys this next year.
Lou, what are you giving Giants fans?
All right. We're a 2-football team city, so unlike you guys, I have to pay for more gifts. And all I'm going to say is I'm going to give the Giant fans an NFL football team. You see, with the Giants and the Jets, if you combine them into one team, they would still finish in last place. Pick the division, AFC, NFC. They're finishing last. So I want to actually bring NFL football to New York because New York has not seen NFL football since Y.A. Tittle and Joe Namath were quarterbacking. All right, maybe Eli.
Lou Albanese cooking today on this Christmas special. We're going to come right back with you as we pick our games. That's next on The Beast. All right, time to take a look at our games of the week. Couple of them honestly don't mean much at all. We're going to begin with New York hosting the Vikings, Lou.
Wow. Vikings, wow. Look, I'm not even picking the Giants. I'm not going near them. I mean, I picked them the last 2 weeks. They lost both times. Minnesota's going to win easily. The Giants are going to lose out. And then the fun begins when the Giants hold the Jets hostage for the number 1 pick. We're going to take all your draft picks, Jets, for the number 1 pick.
That's exactly what the Giants need, and I agree with you. New York Giants lose, and they lose big. Ethan.
Oh, complete opposite. I don't think J.J. McCarthy's got it at all. So Giants 26-13. Jackson Dart has a touchdown of each, rushing, passing. Got to have some faith, Lou.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Ethan had a really great first show. This second show has been a bit questionable. Breland, what do you got?
I'm definitely going Minnesota. Come on now.
All right. E, coming to you, Dallas. Your Cowboys got to have it. They're playing the Chargers.
That's a tough one. I think it's going to be a shootout, but Justin Herbert looks good. He's 0-2 against the Cowboys. I think he gets his first win.
I think that Dallas is eliminated by the time that they play this game. I say go Chargers for this game. Lou.
Oh, Chargers. I think the Cowboys are done. Last week was the end for them.
And Breland.
I told you I never picked Dallas on this show, so my answer doesn't change. It's Los Angeles.
All right. We've got this matchup, Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Breland, at the start of the season, I thought that this game was going to be so much bigger, so much more meaningful. I imagine everybody in the streets talking about this game, but instead, we got this. Who wins this game?
I know, it's a little disappointing. I was looking forward to the banter, Chad.
Yeah.
We were going to have a great moment.
Yeah.
But I got to go Philadelphia here.
Yeah. I was looking forward to the banter as well. I was going to come up to Philadelphia. In fact, not the mean streets of Philadelphia, the really nice section of I was coming up to Philadelphia, and I was going to talk trash for 2 days straight. Unfortunately, this is what we have. Commanders having a down year. I still say, though, that Marcus Mariota, Terry McLaurin find a way to get it done. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick runs for $130 on the Birds, and the Commanders upset Philadelphia. Ethan.
Give me Washington, just because I think they got it this week. I don't know what it is, but I feel it. I'm with you, Chad. Washington.
You are back in my good graces. I love you once again, Ethan. All right, Lou.
Listen, I was going to pick Philly, but Chad, you sold me. I got to pick Washington. I can't believe it. You sold me.
Oh, you guys.
Breland, come on.
How's that for kissing up to the host?
Come on, Breland.
We'll see. You know what? We'll see. You want to bet some lunch on it? We'll see.
Listen, I'm going to tell you why. I'll go a step further here, right? Now, you all may not believe in this, Breland, you especially, but there's a young man out here in Washington. This defense has found a way to begin forcing turnovers again. We talked about that interception on the god-awful route run by Jalen Hyatt, but Mikey Sainristil still has been playing ball lately. He's got 4 picks. We saw Quan Martin get an interception as well, but Breland, your worst nightmare is Hamilton Sr., the cornerback, who is going to go toe-to-toe with A.J. Brown and shut him down the same way he did Darius Slayton.
So then who has Smitty?
Who's
on Devontae?
Sainristil.
Okay.
Sainristil. And plus, Jalen's just going to throw it into the dirt 3 times this game anyway.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
Should we?
I'm with you. You got me all fired up, Chad. I'm pumped. I want to watch this. I'm going to watch this game
That was
from
my
every
best job
second.
convincing you. And guys, that is going to do it for NFC B-East.